Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that someone has been stealing your money every single day. Not hundreds of dollars at once, just a little. So little that you never noticed. No alarms, no warning, no empty bank account. Yet year after year, your money quietly loses its power. The shocking part? This isn't a crime. It's completely legal, and it has a name.
Millions of people work harder than ever before. They earn raises, get promotions, and see bigger numbers on their paychecks. But somehow, they still struggle to buy the same things they could afford just a few years ago.
Your bank balance may look exactly the same, but what that money can actually buy is shrinking. That's the invisible trick that catches almost everyone by surprise. The money didn't disappear. The products didn't become magically better. Instead, something changed behind the scenes. Something that quietly reduced the purchasing power of every dollar you own. That silent force is called inflation. Most people think it's just about higher prices, but by the end of this video, you'll discover why inflation is one of the most powerful and least understood forces shaping your financial future. Imagine walking into the same grocery store with the same $100 you had 5 years ago. The shelves haven't changed, but your shopping cart has. What once filled an entire cart now barely covers the essentials. So, where does inflation actually begin? Surprisingly, it doesn't start in supermarkets. It often starts when more money enters the economy, faster than goods and services can be produced. Think of it this way. If the number of products stays almost the same, but the amount of money keeps increasing, each dollar becomes a little less valuable than before. It's a simple law of economics. When more money chases the same amount of goods, prices naturally begin to rise. Not because the products changed, but because the value of money changed. But printing money is only one piece of the puzzle. Inflation has several powerful causes, and understanding them explains why prices can rise even when no new money is printed. That's where the real story begins. Sometimes inflation has nothing to do with printing money. Imagine factories slowing down, cargo ships getting delayed, and stores waiting weeks for new products. Suddenly, fewer goods are available, but millions of people still want to buy them. When demand stays high but supply falls, prices naturally rise. It isn't always greed. Sometimes it's simply too many buyers competing for too few products. Businesses face inflation too. If energy becomes more expensive, transportation costs increase, and raw materials cost more, companies often pass those higher costs directly to consumers. That's why inflation rarely affects just one product. Food becomes more expensive, fuel follows, housing rises. Eventually, almost every part of daily life becomes harder to afford. Inflation isn't caused by a single event. It's the result of multiple forces pushing prices higher at the same time. And understanding those forces is the first step toward protecting your financial future. Inflation doesn't hurt everyone equally. The people who suffer the most are those living on fixed incomes. Their salaries stay almost the same, while the cost of everyday life keeps climbing. Savers face another invisible problem. Money sitting still slowly loses purchasing power. Even though the numbers never change, what those savings can buy becomes smaller every year. Meanwhile, people who own assets often experience the opposite. Businesses, real estate, and productive investments can increase in value over time, helping them keep pace with inflation. That's why inflation quietly widens the gap between people. Those who rely only on cash often fall behind, while those who own growing assets have a better chance of keeping up. This doesn't mean cash is useless. It means relying on cash alone carries a hidden cost. The real question isn't whether inflation exists. It's whether your money is growing fast enough to keep up with it. So if inflation hurts millions of people, why don't governments simply stop it? The answer is more complicated than most people realize. Inflation isn't controlled by a single switch. One of the most powerful tools is interest rates. When borrowing becomes more expensive, people spend less, businesses slow down, and inflation gradually begins to cool. But there's a trade-off.
Slowing inflation often means slowing the economy itself. Fewer loans, less spending, slower business growth. Sometimes, even higher unemployment. This is why central banks walk a tightrope. Raise interest rates too much, and the economy can fall into recession. Raise them too little, and inflation keeps stealing purchasing power. The truth is, you probably can't control inflation, but you can control how prepared you are for it. And that single decision can completely change your financial future. Inflation isn't something you defeat once. It's a force you'll face for the rest of your life. Every financial decision you make is either helping you keep up or slowly pushing you behind. Wealth isn't built by chasing the fastest return. More often, it's built by allowing time to work in your favor. Small, consistent decisions usually outperform emotional ones. The biggest mistake isn't earning too little. It's waiting too long to make your money grow. Time is one of the few financial advantages that can never be replaced. You can't predict every economic crisis. You can't control inflation. But you can understand how money works, and knowledge is one investment that inflation can never take away. Inflation doesn't steal your money overnight. It steals your purchasing power, one small piece at a time. The people who understand this don't just protect their wealth, they build it. Because in the end, money isn't about what you earn. It's about what your money can still buy tomorrow.